Hello and welcome to GB News Royals. I'm Cameron Walker. Today we're looking into the legal battle that's been years in the making. Prince Harry's fight against British tabloids is reaching its climax, with the most crucial moment set to unfold on Tuesday. This trial pits the Duke of Sussex against News Group newspapers, the parent company of The Sun and the now defunct News of the World. This case is monumental because it's the first time News Group newspapers will have to defend itself against allegations of widespread unlawful news gathering techniques across its entire organisation in court. The implications are staggering because if News Group newspaper loses, it could shatter their long-standing defence that phone hacking was limited to a tiny number of rogue journalists at the now defunct News of the World. Prince Harry's allegations stretch way back to 1996, a time when voicemails were widely used and some tabloid journalists discovered they could easily eavesdrop on private messages. The Prince claims that over 200 articles published by News Group between 1996 and 2011 contained information gathered through illegal or unlawful means, 30 of which will be examined in detail during the trial. It's clear that the Duke of Sussex is on a mission, possibly his life's mission. He's described his goal as accountability. Despite the enormous financial risk he faces by not settling, Harry seems absolutely determined to see this through to the end. Lots of high-profile people, including actor Hugh Grant, have previously decided to settle with News Group, citing the enormous dent in their wallets if it goes to trial. Mr. Grant, for example, suggested he could have faced a £10 million legal bill, even if he won. This determination is particularly noteworthy given News Group newspapers' track record. They've already settled cases with around 1,300 claimants to the tune of £1 billion, including the legal costs. Yet Prince Harry remains one of only 2 claimants still standing against the media giant. This trial is not just about Prince Harry, though. It's about the relationship between the British royal family and the press, a relationship that has been fraught with tension for decades. The Prince has repeatedly spoken out about the trauma he experienced growing up under the constant scrutiny of tabloids, particularly after the death of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. Harry's lawsuit alleges that News Group newspapers used unlawful methods to gather information about him from his teenage years onwards. This includes accusations of using private investigators to obtain or blag private information. News Group isn't backing down either, though. They've got a 3-pronged defence strategy, reportedly. They're going to argue that Harry has run out of time to bring these allegations of unlawful information gathering. They'll challenge the Duke's claim that the information in specific articles came from unlawful sources. And, of course, they've lined up a number of witnesses to dispute Harry's allegations, specifically about senior bosses knowing about the cover-up of unlawful practices.
Prince Harry in court? It's not just another royal headline. This is a legal showdown that could shake the British media to its core. We're talking about years of alleged phone hacking, private surveillance, and one prince determined to expose it all. For decades, the tabloid press has profited from scandal, gossip, and digging into the private lives of the royal family. But now, Prince Harry is saying enough is enough. He's suing Mirror Group newspapers, the publishers behind the Daily Mirror, the Sunday Mirror, and the People. His claim that these outlets used illegal methods, like voicemail hacking and hiring private investigators, to gather information on him for years. This isn't just another lawsuit. This is historic. Prince Harry is the first senior royal in over 100 years to take the stand in court and testify against the press. And what he said during his testimony, it was explosive. He spoke about the emotional toll of growing up under constant media scrutiny, how the tabloids sowed distrust in his personal relationships.
News Group has consistently denied any unlawful activity at The Sun, although they have previously admitted to phone hacking at the News of the World. While the Prince's testimony will undoubtedly grab headlines, he may well have to give 4 days of evidence from the courtroom in London. Prince Harry and the other claimants, Lord Tom Watson, accused News Group newspaper executives of being involved in, or at least aware of, unlawful practices and participated in the destruction, allegedly, of potential evidence in 2011. This accusation targets high-profile figures like Rebekah Brooks, the current chief executive of News Group newspapers, and Will Lewis, who is now the chief exec of the Washington Post. Both deny any wrongdoing. At the heart of this case lies the media empire of Rupert Murdoch. The Australian-born media mogul has long been a controversial figure in British journalism. His newspapers, particularly The Sun, has wielded significant political influence for decades. Murdoch's company has already paid out hundreds of millions, as we've already discussed, in damages and legal costs relating to alleged phone hacking scandals. This trial could potentially add significantly to that bill, not to mention the reputational damage to Murdoch's media empire if it loses. The outcome of this trial could have far-reaching consequences. For Prince Harry, a loss would mean a significant financial hit, possibly in the millions of pounds, but for News Group, a loss could be catastrophic to its reputation and that of its executives. If the court finds that there was indeed a cover-up at the highest levels of News Group newspapers, it could lead to a re-evaluation of the entire phone hacking scandal. Could it prompt calls for further investigations into press practices? We'll have to wait until the outcome of that trial. This trial is taking place against a backdrop of changing attitudes towards privacy and press freedom, though. In recent years, there's been growing public concern about the tactics used by some sections of the media to obtain stories. Prince Harry's case could be seen as a test of how far these concerns have influenced the legal system.
How he couldn't tell who was leaking information and who he could trust. He even linked their relentless pursuit of his personal life to the breakdown of his relationships with friends, with family, and even with his brother, Prince William. Harry described the press as predators, saying their behavior created paranoia and fear, making him question everything and everyone around him. He accused them of planting stories, twisting narratives, and exploiting his pain for clicks and sales. And perhaps most heartbreakingly, he drew a straight line between the tabloid harassment and the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana. He said, quote, "How much more blood will stain their typing fingers before someone puts a stop to this madness?" But the Mirror Group isn't backing down easily. While they admit there was wrongdoing in the past, they argue that most of Harry's claims are either too old to prosecute or based on speculation. Their lawyers say there's no concrete evidence that journalists hacked Harry's phone for every one of the 33 articles in question. Instead, they claim many of those stories came from legitimate sources, like palace press releases, other newspapers, or public sightings. And that's the core of the trial. Can Harry prove that these stories were gathered illegally?
At the same time, the trial raises questions about press freedom and the public's right to know. Supporters of a robust free press argue that overly restrictive privacy laws could hamper legitimate investigative journalism. In Prince Harry's eyes, though, there is a difference between what's in the public interest and of interest to the public. Interestingly, though, the prince is pursuing this case without the support of the wider royal family. His decision to take on the tabloids in such a public manner stands in stark contrast to the royal family's traditional never complain, never explain approach. This different strategy highlights the growing rift between Harry and the rest of the royals. It also underscores the prince's determination to chart his own course, even if it means breaking with royal tradition. He previously conceded to ITV that his pursuit against the British press has damaged his relations with his own family. Now, public opinion on this case is divided. Some see Prince Harry as a crusader for privacy rights, taking on powerful media organisations that have long operated with impunity. Harry described it as David versus Goliath. Others view his legal actions as the complaints of a privileged individual who has benefited from media attention when it suited him. Regardless of where public sympathy lies, there's no denying the significance of this case. It has the potential to reshape the relationship between celebrities, the royal family, and the media in the United Kingdom. While this is a British case, its implications could be felt globally, though. The outcome could influence how other countries approach issues of privacy, press freedom, and the responsibilities of media organisations. It could also set a precedent for how public figures engage with the media and protect their privacy in the digital age. As we watch this legal drama unfold, one thing is for certain: someone is going to lose. The question is, who will it be? The prince fighting for accountability, or the media giant defending its reputation? The trial is expected to last several weeks, with Prince Harry himself likely to take the stand. His testimony will undoubtedly be a dramatic moment during proceedings and could reveal more royal family secrets, so I'm sure there'll be people in Buckingham Palace sitting on the edge of their seats for that one. It's a case that will be watched closely, not just in the UK, but around the world. And this is, of course, just one of 3 separate trials that Prince Harry is pursuing against British tabloid groups. He's already won his case against the Mirror, and his case against the publishers of the Daily Mail is yet to happen. The Daily Mail publishers deny any wrongdoing against them.
Does he have the evidence to back up his accusations? Because if he does, this case could open the floodgates. A ruling in Harry's favor could trigger a wave of lawsuits. Other public figures might finally step forward. Tabloids could face real accountability for years of unethical and possibly criminal behavior. It could lead to tighter regulations on how the media operates. It could redefine the line between the public's right to know and a person's right to privacy. This trial is about more than one man's trauma. It's about whether journalism still has limits, whether the media can be held accountable when it crosses the line. Prince Harry isn't just challenging a newspaper. He's challenging a system that has protected the tabloids for decades under the guise of press freedom. And he's doing it publicly, legally, and unapologetically. So what happens if he wins? The media landscape in the UK, and maybe even beyond, could change forever. The press might finally be forced to operate with integrity. And if he loses, it might send the message that even royalty can't stand up to the media machine. What do you think? Is Prince Harry fighting the good fight, or is this a royal grudge dressed up as a legal crusade? Let me know in the comments. And if this trial matters to you as much as it matters to me, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the verdict could change everything. Thanks for listening.